you so corny.
Yo. Welcome back to Corny Dads. We just a platform of modern day fathers, some corny dads that do dope things for their dope kids. Me and my partners are here, as you see. I'm CJ Snuggy Harris, aka Brother to the Night.
I be Yogi Den Namaste.
Yeah. Yo, catch me on TikTok, Corny Dad OJC. Say it again?
At the moment.
I may be changing it, so it's fine, right? But at the moment. Yo, so today is a special day. We're in the month of March.
Month of March,
right? Month of March.
And
say that 3 times.
Yeah. And we are celebrating Women's History Month, right?
highlighting these women.
We highlighting women, and today we are blessed with the honor and the pleasure of being in the presence of a legend.
A living legend.
Hey, Marv, drop the bombs for that, right? A living legend. If you're from the Philadelphia tri-state area, right? Mm-hmm. You know who Shelly Shell is, right?
Yeah.
So let's just do it one time. Everybody, put your X's up. Put your X's up.
Y'all know what that means.
You already know what that means. So we are here. We're blessed with Shelly Shell Williams, the founder, CEO of Urban Expression. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let everybody else know who don't know what Urban Expression is Shelly Shell. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes.
Happy Women's History Month.
Thanks, Quinn.
And we just wanted to give you your flowers and honor you for your contribution to our community, right? Mm-hmm. To our form of expression, yes. Our arts, right? Mm-hmm. And honestly, you provided a platform for so many people, and I'm gonna let you tell the world who you provided platforms for. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, man. That introduction was amazing. I was wondering who she was. Who is she? Who's that Shelly Shell? Harpo, who that? I'm just saying. Urban Expressions is a music video show. It aired on a channel called Channel 48. And Channel 48 was owned by Dorothy Brunson, who was the first African-American woman in the nation to own a TV and radio
station.
Drop
a bomb for that.
Drop a bomb for
Dorothy. Miss Dorothy.
Dorothy Brunson, and I was her executive assistant. I wasn't good. She told me that every day. You're really not good. You're really not good. But something about your determination, but she's like, you're not good at this. And I knew I wasn't good at it. I really did. I knew I wasn't good at it. But her son owned Urban Expression. He was the founder of Urban Expressions, but I really just wanted to be with Urban Expression. Mm-hmm. So I can get close, so I can learn some things. I decided, all right, even though I know I'm not good at this, I'm going to go and going to work at Channel 48. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so while I was there, I started learning. I started learning how to sell. I went into the sales department. I found out how to actually make a station work and how to make a show work. So that's how I really got in there to actually kind of take over. So I started as an intern. And Urban Expressions is a music video show. We played everything from everything. Anybody you want to see, from the Jay-Z's to the Ja Rules to the Jay-Z's. Yeah.
Beyonce husband?
Beyonce. Okay. And even Beyonce. So we had Beyonce when Destiny's Child was like, no, the slow version. You remember how it started out slow? No, people don't know that. It started out the slow way. No. So we had them when they started out the slow version way. We did a whole interview with Beyonce and the girls, which is, Destiny's Child in the beginning, Jagged Edge in the beginning. So anybody who started out in music, they were right there. And we were the first live show. Like, nobody had a live video show, meaning you can come in. So we're there on stage. You can have, we're on set, and here goes LL. Here comes Ja Rule. Here comes every celebrity. You can just walk in the building at Saturday night, 11 o'clock. So they just walk. And then, it's decent. It was a nice little
good
vibe.
Run.
Let me tell you nothing. It was a nice little vibe for those that vibe. If you was vibing, you was vibing.
We here for the vibes.
It was a good run.
It was a whole vibe on a Saturday night.
I remember Channel 48. I don't know. I'm kind of old, so I remember when TVs used to cut off, right?
Yeah.
So Urban Expressions used to play, and I used to watch Channel 48 because they stayed on after hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh man. So so you've had the pleasure of working with so many artists. You got to meet them. You got to work with them. I would say, I guess my question is, during your tenure at Urban Expression, right? What would you say who would you say that you interviewed was like the highlight, right?
Everybody asks me that question, but I always say there is highlights. I have memorable moments, and I always go to the one story because it is the most, because Jay-Z is a billionaire, you know, clearly, and he knows what he's doing. But that was the most memorable because I was young, I was really young, and I was cocky in my own way, but I was into God, like literally. I didn't want to do urban expressions. I thought it was the devil's music, and I thought that I was gonna get sucked up, which I did. Get sucked up into it, and then so Jay-Z had the song "Ain't No Like the One I Got," sleeps around but it gives me a lot. That song, every time it came on, the sleeps around and gives me a lot was a problem for me, and I'm like, sleeps around, what you gonna get, an STD? And so I came to Jay-Z. We sitting at the club about to do the interview, and I'm just sitting there, Jay-Z standing next to me, and I'm like, yo, Jay-Z, listen, I have a problem with your song. I said, I like the beat and all that, but the words, sleeps around, but it gives me a lot. What about the whole STD thing? Is somebody going to go out and get some STDs? He's like, it's real, Mom. It's what happens, Mom. This is what I see in my hood, Mom. And I was like, but what about safe sex? But what about safe sex? And he was like, man, it's real. So I said, could you just hand out some condoms, make a little whole safe sex thing. And I heard from what I hear that the next concert he did, he handed out condoms. That might have been one time. So, but if Jay-Z came up to me now in 2023 as a billionaire, I'd be like, clearly, Jay-Z, you know more of what you were speaking of. You have a clearer understanding as to what, makes money. But to me, it wasn't about money. None of this was ever about the music. So I guess that was allowing me as a female to be in this thing because I wasn't hyped on the thing. I'm just like, I'm business. What can do for my business? Can this business run? Can I make some money? What can I do? I was about the business of it all, not like, yo, I need to be near the stars. And that's what made me different than a lot of other, people in it. I wasn't trying to sleep with everybody. I was just trying to listen, if you're on my show, this will make it better. If I do this, this will make this better. This will make everything about making it grow was my thing. I wasn't about like, oh my God, let me get next to this one.
You were more of an asset.
Absolutely, and that's why
more of a visionary, I think. Seeing not just now, but we're looking past this. Not even looking past it, but we're seeing more in the future of what things could develop to be. So visionary, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say so, because when they came in as an intern, when I came kicking and screaming, I was like, my sister was coming, and she was just, could you sit with me? Just come in the car and sit with me. And I'm like, all right, I'll sit with you, but I'm looking at the show like, oh my God, this show. But then eventually, it was a live show, so everybody called out. It was a rainy night, and they was like, we need your help. I was like, no, I don't do that. I don't do this. And then by the third time, I was like, oh, I'm so wrong. How wrong are you not to do something like that? So I came in, and then once I saw it, I was like, this is what we're going to do. This is how it's going to be. Let's make this like this. And then when they said, intern, meaning you work for free, I said, free? Free don't work for me. I don't mind learning, but I'm gonna teach y'all a few things. So I came in and said, I know how to sell. I didn't know how. I didn't know I knew how to sell. God told me that I knew how to sell. So
I had that confidence.
I said, all right. I went in and started selling the show and saying, hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the show at your location. So everything you see on TikTok and everything you see on Instagram, we did that. We did that first. We doing shows inside of furniture stores. We doing shows inside of hair salons. We making their hair salon pop. We making your studio pop. And that's what we did. And I was like, but you're gonna pay me to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
You're gonna pay for our presence. You're gonna pay for this
advertisement.
There's millions of households, but it wasn't like your regular ads. Now they're doing it, but back then you had your regular, ads, for a better word, corny ads. But they had corny ads back in the day, but these ads were us in there. You got to see us are the personalities in your store or in your location. So nobody was doing it. And I called it the urban infomercial. So I just, coined it, made it the urban infomercial, did it, and that was how I literally went from intern to executive producer, because I rocked that. I had every sponsor you can think of. I had so many sponsors that the actual station said, you're taking sponsors from us. You have to stop. You have to stop. You have exceeded. And I was ready to, I almost had one of the biggest, they had a crown on their head. I ain't going to tell you this, we ain't going to say their names because they ain't giving us no money, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, still selling. I love it.
They had a crown on their head. That company that had, the person had the crown on their head. I was ready to close the deal on that crown on their head, like the biggest deal. And she said no. She said no. She said, "You're taking from my people. You taking from." I was like, "I can't help it. Your people ain't selling the way I'm selling."
Right.
I can't help it. But yeah, that's what happened. So then I became more of the local, and then I started creating different things. But that's how the whole reign came. It wasn't about the music for me. I love music. Don't get me wrong.
It was the business.
It was the business. I love business. I love the business of business. I love the making of the money of the business. It's like, what can we do? How can we grow?
This Mitch right here.
Yeah,
this money making Mitch right here.
Just speaking of because that was my next question to ask. What about urban expressions did you believe in so much that you wanted to continue in? But I see it's the business. You were really motivated and inspired by the business. But I want to ask you, urban expressions then and now developing an urban expressions to where it is now, right? What has changed?
Ooh, through the years, like Urban Expressions was like I kept doing it up until like it had many transitions. We went from 48 to WYBE to Telemundo. We were the first and only TV show on Telemundo that was English. The only English show on Telemundo, and that was literally negotiations. I don't know whether it was the Smile, it was the whatever, but and then the deal that I had was so amazing. So we went through a lot of transitions, and in the time, I'm like, all right, cool. What's our next phase? And then we went to our next phase, and then the music changed. The music changed around 2013, and it was I don't know what was happening. I'm not even sure what was happening.
The mumble bumble.
I don't know what happened, so it wasn't in my spirit for a second. Of course, I still love putting people on. I still love the Urban Expressions brand, but I did not want to promote the music, period. Yeah. So there was a moment that something happened. We switched stations, and it was like, oh, well, forget it. That's what happened. It was like...
You fell out of love.
It was like I still loved Urban Expressions. I still still did the interviews. Yeah. Anywhere I went, I did... Ice Cube, Kevin Hart, I still did the interviews. I was sure going to collect them interviews. Yes. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to collect them. Yeah. But it may not be on the video platform that it was. So the moment I guess I fell back in love with it, it was just, I remembered something. I remembered a literal conversation when I said, God, is this what you want me to do? This was back in 2004. I said, is this what you want me to do? He said, yes. He called me to this. And it's not just about the music, and it's just about he called me to this because he trusts me in this position. Because in a position like this, you gotta have a level head. You can't be all about, oh, I'm braggadocious, and there's people who just want to be there because they want to brag and they want to be seen, and that's not my purpose. My purpose, honestly, my overall purpose is for y'all to love God, whoever you serve. I want you to love God, and my overall purpose in life is to use this platform, and every chance I get, I'm gonna tell you about God. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That is my overall purpose. But I'm gonna use this, and I believe in the people. I believe in us, all of us here. Like this to me, like I'm bursting in my thing. Like, oh my God, this is what I've always wanted. Community, exactly. Community. People put us all on. Let's get it big. Like it just means so much, and that's the major. And God trusted me, and He continues to trust me with this platform because. When you say things like shit, like I'm like, God, who you talking? You know what I mean? I literally feel like you're talking about me.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing is that you sat and you listened. I think we were talking about this. Oz brought up one of the things that he said was, we talked about it on the phone the other day. It's like, prayer is when you ask God for the things that you want, and then like meditation is when you listen. And I think we ask a lot of the times, but we don't listen to exactly what the Spirit is saying to you and calling you to do. Yeah. So just that point, I think is really special. You didn't say I had to go out and I had to figure it all out. You said no, I just listened to God. God talked to me and called me to a space. Then you said I trusted Him and He trusted me in that space. And I think that's like super, super major keys.
It is, but it's honestly the truth. It's like I can't, you know how you say, I can't make this stuff up. I can't make none of this up. And I know people out there looking for their purpose. And I say, you can't be desperate for looking for your purpose. You have to allow God to move you in that purpose, and you're watching because it's His timing, it's not my timing. I didn't know today we'd be sitting here like this. This was not in the plans, right? It wasn't in the plans. It's one post, one say, one call. I didn't know. This wasn't like, oh, I plan to call Osner up, and this wasn't a plan. So only God can put you in this space like here. No, I didn't know that I was going to do Urban Expressions Newsmaker. This wasn't a plan. plan. It wasn't. It was none of it was my plan. Like, you know how you stare with your vision board and you put your little dots on your vision board and you cut the pictures out. Yeah, this wasn't on my vision board.
Wow.
None of this was on my vision board. None of it. So I can't make it up. Like, all I can do is be obedient to what he's saying. And like I said, make sure, like I said, I got caught up a little bit in there. Couple of them years, I was like, I was a little cocky. You know what I mean? I had to calm yourself. God said, I'm gonna calm you down.
Can you tell me a time where that? Because that's important, right? I think for all, especially for all our young girls out there, right, that are striving to be even in the position or are striving to the position that you're in the longevity, right? I think we see you on TV, right? We see you in these magazines. We see you how poised you are, how exuberant you are when you speak. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the setbacks that you had and that you had to overcome in order to get back on track?
Oh man, and I'm glad to talk about it because sometimes we forget there are things. But when I say I got caught up, there were moments like we were doing a teen fashion show, right? And for the teen fashion show, I had to have family. You know, you iron his, you iron this. But I remember one of them said, "I can't stand these days because you turn into a beast." I said, I didn't realize it till later that I became a beast. Like, I wanted things done. I was like, you gonna do this, do it like this. I mean, it was, and I recall it, and I was like, oh, I did do that. I did say that. I was kind of mean. Oh, and y'all was doing it for free, family. Thank you, family. Y'all ironing every model's clothes for free. Like, I'm like, go iron them clothes. You ain't doing it right.
Cousin, go iron them.
Go do the billboard. You ain't do that billboard. It ain't right. That ain't right. You better do. I mean, I turned into a tyrant every time these shows came around because it was the pressure. It wasn't that I was mean. It was the pressure of somebody trusting me with their venue and their kids, because it was a teen fashion. They not trusting me with their kids and everything. And it's like all this pressure, and there was no outlet for me, honestly, because I was single, no kids. Although my kids, we talking about Corny Dads, they used to call me the dad. So my sister, my sister was the mother, and I was the dad, and because I really took that role on because I was the dad, because I was the enforcer. I was the that one. Yep. So I didn't have kids, but I didn't have an outlet for being somebody in this with this much power and this much control. And it's like, who do you talk to? Who do you like? This is a lot of pressure. And y'all trusting me with your money. Y'all trusting me a lot of money and your kid. That thing. The biggest thing is you trusting me with your kids.
Absolutely.
I gotta take care of your kids. I gotta put them, and I gotta make them look good. And that was trusting me with so much. So then I realized I got caught up. And so as time went on, then that's when I really started getting back into church and really like, oh, I messed up. I got clearer. And then as I got back into church, I got broke. I'm not sure how those two things came together. It was like I get in the church, I get broke. I got foreclosure notices on my door. My car went off down the street by the repo man, and I'm sitting there like, whose life is this? I went from having money, like we had a teen club with 900 kids every week, and you can count the money. I don't need to count the money for people, but it wasn't about the money, but it was about teaching the kids things. But you talking about 900 kids times that every week. I had money. Then all of a sudden, I didn't have money. All of a sudden, my car gets repoed. My house is in foreclosure. I'm filing bankruptcy. And I'm like, God, I'm trying to get closer to you, but this don't feel close. This feels like I'm in the gutter. Come on, Lord, let's go. What are we doing? So he left me in that state for a minute. But it was how I was going through. A little funky in the beginning. But then the moment I just like, I get it, God. I surrender. I get what you're doing. I get it. And I understand the process. And so I started keeping my mind off of myself and like, well, who can I serve? So even if I didn't have money, I would go out and serve. I would do some community things. Of course, we did Christmas events. This event I gave to the church. I was in the church 24/7. What you want me to do? How you want me to do it? And then eventually, that one day, I get calls. I got a call for one of my sponsors from Urban Expressions. Literally, one of the biggest sponsors I had for Urban Expressions called me and was like, let's go to breakfast. Are you sure? You mean the owner of this, the owner of this big facility here that's yellow? This yellow building here. You want me to come do breakfast? Sure, I don't mind. I like to eat, so all right, cool. We do breakfast. And he's sitting there, we're just talking, and he's like, how about you come on the inside? Come on the inside of what? What do you want me to do? He's like, I want you on the inside. I said, you want me to give up being an entrepreneur? Now listen, I was broke. My car was broke down. I ain't had no money. But I
still talking big.
Yeah,
I still had like,
I am not gonna show my hand.
I was like,
You called me here.
You
got
called
something funny.
me. So he came offered this amazing salary, and I was like, I guess I could do that. And then I said, does
on the spot.
But I said, first of all, does it come with a car? He said, no, it doesn't usually, but I want a car. I want a car paid for. I want a car paid for. I said, I can't get there on whatever day you want me to go, which was June 5th. I can't get there on June 5th if I don't have a car.
No, my value.
So I got a car. and it wasn't, at the first, he said I could go buy a car and, they paid for the lease, but for the first 3 months, they leased a rental car. So I was in different rental cars for months, and I was like, she did that.
So what is that telling you about who you are when people are doing these things and you're able to make these demands? What does it tell you about your value?
That's leverage.
I honestly didn't see me as value. I saw it as God's plan. So it wasn't none of this was ever about me. So even though I was making the demands, it was never about me. It was God's plan because I had prayed.
Different.
Coming in from the repo and all that kind of stuff. I was praying and I said, God, you know what did it? It was social media. I said, God, I love social media. I want to get paid. I want to get paid to do it.
Absolutely.
And this was in 2012. And the next week, that's when I got that call because I fell in love with social media to the point that I told everybody I do social media. I ain't do social media. I did my own social media.
I get it.
I do social media. I'm an expert. I would tell them, whoever listened, yep, I do social media and I'm an expert at it. But it wasn't
But your
me.
background also says that you can, right?
My background
Because before
said,
there was a social media, you were the social media.
Social media. So I allowed them to, so that call was about that. So when I went into that big yellow building, was about doing their social media. And I love community, so I got a double job. My job was creative manager, and I was in charge of social media management and community relations, and that's where I met you because I was community because I got to spend your money. I got to spend their money and help people. Like you can't,
and not a little bit of money. And not a little bit of money.
A lot of money. Like
when we bumped into each other, they reached out to me about spending $100,000, right?
Yeah.
So I walk into the building, and
The
guess
big
who's
yellow
in
building?
it? The big yellow building. I walk into this big yellow building, and they're like, yeah, because we want to make sure that we got $100,000. We want to spend it. We want to make sure that we get it into the community. That's all y'all got, 100? All right, cool. We figure out a way to make it work. I go in there. And I see Shelly Shell. And I lost my mind. Like on the spot. Like you would have thought they was giving me $100,000, right? Or I was the person that they was giving some money to, right?
Yeah.
Like I literally walked in there, I was like, put your exes down. Like I was fanning.
all suited, and he all suited and booted.
I'm like, yeah! Like with a whole trench coat on, right?
Yes.
So it was, again, divine intervention. And from that moment, we talked about like, hey, we're going to do something at some point, right? But the opportunity never presented itself. Fast forward, Corny Dads, and this is a great segue into the new urban expression, right?
Right.
Let the people know what's happening with the new urban expression.
The new urban expressions. About a year ago, we turned 30, right? Urban Expressions was 30 years old. 30, right? And I stumbled on the 30. I was like,
3 decades.
I had to count, I had to do math on the calculator. I'm sorry. I had to do math on the calculator. And I was like, 1992, 2022. Oh my gosh, we 30 years old. That's what? Oh my gosh. So I'm like, 30 years old. What does that do? So there was a urbanexpressions.com was taken for years. And it cost $50,000 at 1 year, $40,000. And it just kept, this number was big. Because we lost it. Not me particularly,
Yeah, I
but
get
it
it.
was lost.
It was lost.
I'm just going to tell you, if it was me. I'm just going. I'm throwing whoever that is under the bus because I need to. 'Cause you lost.
You lost it.
You lost it.
You know you lost it.
You lost.
You lost it. So we lose it, and it took years. And I check back every year. I check back. But at the 30th year, I checked back, and it was affordable for me. And I said, "Oh, we alive again."
We live, baby. Yeah. We live, baby. Yeah.
Yes. We live again. I said, I'm snatching it up. I'm paying for it. I put some money out. But, you know what I'm saying? But it was good money. You know what I mean?
Money.
But
Because
I was
that's
like,
where your heart lies.
So that's how you know you're going to do it. I put this money out. I talked to a couple other people, and I was like, to keep people on the .com, I need a radio station.
Okay.
So I'm going to put a radio station. This was gear. So I've been paying for a year. Then I was like, I'm not going to rush into anything. I'm going to do it when I feel the person is right. When I feel it's not, like I said, none of this is about money.
It's not.
When I feel is right. Talking to Osna, talking to y'all, I was like, this is right.
This is right.
Right. I'm ready. A year later, this is year 31, and I knew this was time. This is time. Now I'm starting. UrbanExpressionRadio.com. We here. We doing it. We here. Well, we doing it.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that's it. We were here. Is that my alarm? But
And it is beautiful. Like, you have to go to UrbanExpressionsRadio.com. Please check it out, the news site, and please check out the newspaper, the newsletter. It is beautiful. It's vibrant. The colors are amazing. The kids are amazing. They're working out here, so it's not all about just spoken word, right? It's all about really creating the arts, right?
Yep.
With your hands, with your heart.
So yeah, but the radio itself is it's broadcasted every week. Every time you go to it, every time you go
We
to
got a
it.
musical background. We
We
good.
got a musical background, yes. There you go. You can't make it up. You can't make it up.
We love it.
We live. We back.
But UrbanExpressionsRadio.com, I didn't want it to be what it didn't need to be. I didn't want it to be, let's get some Phil Florenville just to get some money. I'm gonna play your music. Da 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 da. It is not that. It can't be.
Yeah,
We didn't come all this way, to do, hey, we're just gonna put whatever on just because you're giving us $1. No, it has to be meaningful. It has to be something that we want to see.
Yes.
Everything
It's
we
intentional.
do is intentional.
And
Everything
community.
has purpose. Yep, and that's the biggest thing. You
That's the
keep saying
biggest
that
thing.
community, to me, like everything about Urban Expressions throughout the year was a community. Like we were a family.
That's what it was.
Who can-
You knew when you threw the X's. I know you watch what I watch.
Like,
We are family.
yep,
Yes.
we are family, and together, all of us, how many people can you say you still friends with, for 100 million years? Most people I don't know my friends.
Yeah,
Man, they still my family.
Still
Everything
family.
about it.
Right.
And then when I see the people that were on the TV with us, like even if they were advertisers or people who like a Jimmy DeSaint, who's now a film director. Everybody is still our family.
Yes.
So I love the things that we all evolved into. So let's do this. And I still got music. You can go there. There's some music on there. Some mixes.
Yeah.
And we're gonna put some independent people on there. And clearly, we're gonna listen to their music and put it on there. But the whole point is the initial. It has to be you. It has to be Corny Dads. It has to be because we, like you said, we talked about it. I done came out to East Orange. East Orange. I came out here and got my food. Not that it was about the food, but I did get some food.
We
But
like the food, too.
my favorite spot. But so I came out there. We talking about it, and I'm like, something about out here I'm supposed to do. Everything about this, everything about Osner is supposed to happen to me.
Right.
Yes.
Hey, yo, Marv, can we get a drum roll, please? Because we got a major announcement to make. All right? So, as part of Women's History Month, as part of the resurrection of Urban Expression, the magazine, the radio show, we spoke to our executive producer, Mr. J.C. Boogie, and he has approved for us to sign on with Urban Expression.
Yes.
So we are officially
Let's
a
do it.
part of the team. So we are officially
part of Urban Expression.
X is up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Come on.
Let's go. So, thank you so much for coming out. We truly appreciate you. There's going to be so much more to come from us, Corny Dads, with the support in the back end of Urban Expression and the legend Shelly Shell.
Absolutely.
Right? And we just look forward to it. And we just wanted to take this opportunity to give you your flowers and let you know how much we love and how much we appreciate you. Even if you don't hear it, I'm speaking for one segment of the population. He's speaking for another segment.
Yes,
He's
absolutely.
Snug's from West Philly, so that's a whole other population, right? So again, from Pennsylvania to New York to New Jersey, you are honored, you are loved.
And
Thank you so much for all that you have done.
So much. Thank you.
Bringing the label back.
Let's go. We're bringing it back.
Listen.
All right. Yo, with that being said,
Yo, stay corny.
Stay corny.
That's so corny.